Okay. Good morning, everyone. Yes, Education is delighted to have you all here today for this webinar training from UniTec. Before we begin the webinar, let me introduce a little bit. My name is Hương from Yes Education, based in Vietnam, but at the moment I'm in New Zealand. And joining me today is Mr. Ray Christian Rosell, the representative of UniTec. And the content of the today's webinar will include highlights or key points of UniTech, application process, study programs, student support policies, and other related things. During the webinar, if you have any questions, please leave them in the Q&A section, or if you want to talk, please raise your hand. And now I would like to invite Mr. Wright to start the training. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that introduction. Hello, everyone. My name is Ray. I'm the International Market Manager for Southeast Asia, Taiwan, and Japan at UniTec. So I look after all of these markets. So if you have any concerns for students from these countries, I'll be the main point of contact at UniTec. And I'm also a New Zealand licensed immigration advisor. So if you have any concerns about policies, immigration pathways, I'm very happy to clarify about that as well. And I'll be covering a few highlights on, of course, why choose New Zealand, why promote New Zealand, before I proceed to showcasing our institution. Okay, so let's start, of course, first with why choose to study in New Zealand. So currently, let's start with during the studies. As many of you may already know as well, New Zealand has also increased the working rights for fee-paying international students. So now students can work up to 25 hours per week. Um, and they can also work full time during breaks. Good thing as well with the offers that we will issue is that you will already see when the scheduled breaks will be for your students. So they will know when they can work full time. And at the same time, New Zealand also has very attractive wages. Currently, the minimum wage is at 23.95 New Zealand dollars per hour. So that's the minimum wage as of April. So it's also attractive opportunity for students to earn while they are studying. And at the same time, after students complete their studies, they can be eligible for up to 3 years of a post-study work visa where they can work for any employer. So that's one of the key advantages as well that ties up nicely with the opportunity for the students while they are as they choose to invest in studying in New Zealand. And the policies are currently quite good for international students since lots of the policy changes being introduced are very beneficial for students. In fact, this starting this November, um, Immigration New Zealand is also introducing a new work visa for those studying diplomas from level 5 to level 7. Currently, those programs that are not on the green list would not have a post study work visa, but starting November, they will now be eligible for a 6 month short term graduate work visa. And this is going to be for level 5 to 7 programs that are non-bridging and also non-English programs. So this is also signal that USAN is really welcoming more opportunities as well for incoming international students. And even after they graduate, one advantage that New Zealand has right now across other popular study destinations is that the pathways to residence is quite clear. Um, it's not we don't guarantee it to the students, of course, but it's very clear in a sense that you would know that if your students manage to get into the job that they're aiming for, or they meet the wage requirements that they need, they could be eligible for one of the pathways for residents. One of the popular ones, of course, is the green list. The green list are the occupations that we need more people in New Zealand. This includes nurses, teachers, engineers, construction, IT professionals. So those occupations under those fields would sometimes be eligible for straight to residents or like early childhood work to residents, where after they work for 2 years in a skilled role, in that occupation, they could be eligible to apply for residence. The key thing to keep in mind here with the residence pathway in New Zealand is it's all tied to an offer of employment. So meaning if students have a good chance of meeting the requirements once they have an occupation on that field and they also meet the wage requirement. It's normally looking for them to be paid at or above the median wage. And currently that's 35 New Zealand dollars per hour. So just a little over $12 per hour from the minimum wage. Um, and they could be eligible for these pathways. Another good update starting this August is the skilled migrant category. And I think this would explain why we are now seeing, I think, more than 40% increase in our enrollment in our master's degrees because master's degrees right now are currently eligible for 5 points. So they need to work for one more year on a skilled work before they become eligible for residence. But starting August, the skilled migrant category will now give 6 points for those who will complete a New Zealand master's degree and already have a bachelor's degree, of course, from their home country. So this presents a really strong opportunity for our master's graduates to apply for residence after they complete their studies. Since all they need left, since they already have all the 6 points they need, they will just need to find an accredited employer who will give them a valid job offer paid at the median wage or higher, which is 35 New Zealand dollars. So it's a really clear and straightforward pathway to residence. And even for bachelor's degree, it used to be an ordinary bachelor's degree used to be 3 points. Now, starting August, it will become 5 points. And given that they will get a chance to stay longer in New Zealand as well, since they study bachelor's for about 3 years and do the post-study work visa for another 3 years, it gives them a long time to work on the skilled work experience that they need, which is just 1 year, and become eligible for that pathway as well. And alternatively, there are also three other pathways that they can use. We have the care workforce work to residence, which is normally popular for those in the healthcare sector. And we also have two new pathways to be introduced this August, the trades and technician pathway and skilled work experience pathway, which could be an option for students in skilled roles that are not eligible for the first three primary pathways for residents. So I think compared to most countries, it really presents a good opportunity for students to stay even after they complete their studies. And the good thing about this as well for New Zealand is it's a very family friendly study destination. If you happen to have students that are a bit more mature, already have families, depending on the program that they will take, they may be eligible to bring their partners on a work visa where their partner can work full time for any employer. This is eligible mostly for all of our master's degree and certain bachelor's degrees and graduate diplomas that we offer. So I'll highlight later which programs will be eligible to bring the partner. And when you have a partner that is on a work visa, this means that that partner can now support your children on a dependent child student visa where they can study for free tuition across public institutions in New Zealand from primary until secondary. So that's until year 13. So many of the students now that we have normally sees this as a good return on their investment, given that their partners get to work and their children gets to study. And as a study destination, New Zealand ranks quite high in terms of work-life balance, one of the least corrupt governments globally, one of the safest countries in the world. Now it's actually ranked number 2 in the latest Global Peace Index, and even number 1 in the ease of doing business. And overall, a really nice country to bring your family to as well. Now I'll try to share my video, but just to give you a better idea of UniTec and what we have to offer. Okay.
People are so friendly, everyone is so helpful, the culture here is so great, the environment is so good, so yeah.
The facilities here in UniTec, it's great, and I always get my problems solved perfectly.
Class sizes are really small, which helps us learn better. There's so much international students here, and so I really like it.
We get more hands-on experience on each thing. So it's just like a real-life scenario.
So the program here was suited to what I wanted. It was actually an easy choice for me, to be honest.
The surprise was as well that I found myself as I was a shy girl. When I came here, I asked questions and I became really confident.
The lifestyle, of New Zealand, I love it.
Sorry, Fred. I think there's a bit of a delay on
Nau mai, haere mai ki te whānau o te whare wānanga o Wairaka. Welcome to our family.
Okay. Sorry, Fred. I think there was
Hello,
a bit
Ray.
of a
Sorry
delay
for
on
interrupting you.
the idea, of course, what the unit is, but just to give an overview as said, looking at Institute of G, we currently have 15,000 students enrolled on our across our campuses, and we are in Auckland, New Zealand's largest city. So it's also students, but also domestic students. Out of the 15,000 students, we currently have about 2,500 of that are international students. So it's a good blend of domestic of international communities, and we do love to celebrate the diversity as well that we see on our campuses. And although it is a big institution, we still focus on delivering personalized level of learning and have small class sizes for our students. So it's easier for students to catch up, interact with their professors and their classmates with the class. So it's also a very good learning environment for students. And as you can see, this is our main campus, Mount Albert. So it's a really it's one of the few institutions in Auckland that can really provide student that vibrant campus experience. So we have here our different facilities for hands-on practical learning. We have our Marai, so they know they also get a bit of a cultural experience, and where we also do lots of our Maori cultural practices and share that with the students. We even do a pulvery as we welcome them into the campus, and it's really nicely located since we also have another campus also within Auckland, which is our Waitakere campus. That's where we deliver our healthcare programs. So we even have a free shuttle going back and forth the two campuses, so it's more accessible to the students. And if you look at it from a bird's eye view, so this is what our campus would look like. It is just about a 10-minute drive away from the central business district of Auckland. And I know when students normally think of New Zealand, they sometimes imagine the more rural side of New Zealand. But here in Auckland, and especially here at our campus at Mount Albert, they get to enjoy the best of both worlds. It's uh, they're still in New Zealand's biggest city. They still have that city living, but they still get to make the most out of their lives here. But I noticed from people in Auckland is that they're not really there to. It's not really the ideal place for you to just keep grinding and working, but them and yet still get to enjoy being in a city that's quite close to a lot of attractions as well. We have a lot of transportation systems. There's a 5-minute walk train station nearby and to the campus, just about different gates. And like I mentioned, going to Henderson, which is also about part of Auckland, we also have a free shuttle for our students. So it's really accessible and really nice location as well. It's one of the best places to be in as well in New Zealand. And it's where more than 50% of the international students come to study. We do have a virtual tour as well, which I will share this presentation to the team so that you will be able to access it. This gives your students a better appreciation of where they will be coming to when they choose to study at our institution. Another advantage of our programs is since we are a publicly funded institution, we have strong connections as well for industry partners. And many of our programs would even have work placements, co-ops, internships, even work integrated learning, or even some form of applied research as part of the program. So this gives our students better chances of employment since they get to meet some employers already, and some of our students do get to continue working with the companies that they do some of their placements or internships in. So that's another opportunity for the students. And we deliver programs as well that so whether they want to become architects, teachers, nurses, social workers, we have the necessary accreditation to deliver those programs, and even professional bodies like Engineering New Zealand, Veterinary Nursing Association recognizes our programs. The engineering degrees that we give out are actually Sydney Accord degrees, so it's also well recognized globally. And many of our qualifications, as most institutions as well with recognition, would have recognition for Australia. So it allows students to also get the corresponding equivalent because of the trans-Tasman recognition of qualifications. In terms of the fields of study, we have a lot of programs to choose from, more than 80 programs for international students, from certificates to diplomas, bachelor's, graduate diplomas, master's, up until doctoral degrees. So we have more than 80 programs. And if your student has finished high school, there's a good chance we have a lot of programs for them to offer. So from the fields of business, construction, computing, engineering, IT, English language, even performing arts, design, healthcare, and environmental and animal sciences. So we have those programs. I'll skip some of the foundations, and since there's a mix of different agents from different countries here, you can always refer to our country specific criteria on our website to see the entry requirements for diplomas and bachelors. But what I would like to highlight in the diplomas is these two programs that are listed as that would meet one of the requirements for the green list for occupations, which is our diploma in construction and our New Zealand diploma in engineering in civil and electronic. So these programs would have a 2 years of post-study work visa as well. Although as they are below level 7, take note that of course students will not be eligible to bring their partners with them on a working visa, maybe just a visitor visa. And all of these other programs will become more viable for students once the short-term graduate work visa is introduced starting in November. Our diplomas can also cross credit, by the way, to our bachelors. So in case students don't meet the requirement for bachelor's yet, they will just need to study an additional 16 weeks, and they will be eligible to continue their diploma into a bachelor degree of the same field with us. And we have a lot of bachelor degrees with various specializations. Again, highlighted in green are those that would meet the requirement on the green list. The advantage of those highlighted in green as well is that since it's now a level 7 qualification, they can also support partners on a working visa. So this includes construction, engineering technology, medical imaging, early childhood, nursing, and social practice. And even those that are not on the green list, while they won't be eligible to bring their partners with them on a working visa, it's becoming more popular now given that bachelor degrees will will soon be eligible for 5 points under the skilled migrant category in New Zealand. Okay. Graduate diploma, these are 1 year programs, ideal for students with bachelor degrees already, but don't quite meet the requirements yet for masters. One on the green list is construction project management. This is for students with bachelors in civil engineering or architecture. And this program is eligible to support partners as well on a working visa. So that's one advantage that this program would also have. But we do also have 1 year graduate diplomas in business, computing, and also in professional accountancy. Masters, we have more than 9 master's degrees for students to choose from. Business has 5 specializations. Um, Computing has 3 specializations, namely cybersecurity and networking, software development, data analytics and intelligence. And we even have a master's in creative practice. This is for any creative profession that you can think of, whether students wants to become directors, filmmakers, actors, graphic designers, graphic artists, you name it. As long as it's in the creative profession, this is an ideal master's degree for them. Architecture, we have 3 masters. One of them, the professional one, leads to registration as an architect in New Zealand. We also have Master of Applied Practice in Social Practice. I normally get a lot of students with backgrounds in psychology taking this program, but it's open to allied health fields that would like to do research on a social issue in New Zealand. We also have biodiversity management. This is ideal for students who wants to study a bit more towards ecology. So that's where the program would more closely relate to. And one of our most popular programs, our Master of Professional Accounting, one of the few accounting programs in New Zealand that has an included 50-hour work-based internship. This program is open for any bachelor degree holders. The program is designed for students who wants to change careers and become accountants in New Zealand. All of these, except for architecture programs, are just 18 months. But from that 18 months, almost 5 months are scheduled breaks where students can work full time. Um, I'll give you an example, like our master's in applied business. If you study it in October, you can finish it as quick as 13 months because we will skip the breaks and we can complete the program continuously and graduate November the following year. For the entry requirements, you will have to check our website since there are program specific requirements and grade requirements depending on the level on the program that the student will be taking. And we also have study grants available for Southeast Asian applicants. So study grants we give from 1,000 to 2,500 New Zealand dollars. This is for the 2026 intake. For the 2027, we are just finalizing our fees and scholarship. But the net fee we're expecting to be around to land around the same price as what it would look like with the study grant. For English proficiency test, we do have we do refer to NZQA and what's the acceptable English proficiency exam. So that includes IELTS, TOEFL, Cambridge, OET, New Zealand Certificate of English Language or NZCL. We actually offer that program as well. So some students can package their programs with us since we are an institution eligible for pathway student visas. We also have PTE, Language Cert, and Trinity ISE. And this is just what our New Zealand Certificate of English Language would look like. So just to simplify it, if you finish level 5, that's equivalent to having an IELTS 6.5 across all bands, and you can enter all programs that require IELTS 6.5. Level 4 is equivalent to having IELTS 6.0. Level 3 is 5.5, and 3 general is around 5. So normally entry requirements is just lacking about 0.5 bands, no bands below 1 point from the equivalent band that the program will have. In case your student do not have an IELTS score yet to know if they could enter, we also have a free online English test that they can use just to package, just to know if they can enter the English program. Just take note that the online placement test does not replace the meeting English requirement for the main programs. So it is only to enter the English language programs. So it's also available on our website. And this is our important date. So if you look at to the right, you will see our intakes. We normally deliver programs. Most of our programs are offered in February level 4 program. And in October, the only program we offer would be the Masters of Applied Business. Since October to Feb would be a break, that's the reason why Master of Applied Business becomes as quick as 13 months when you study in October. And normally master's degrees are about 18 months. And you will see in the academic calendar, we have about 2 weeks of scheduled breaks in between semesters, and also a long break from around October or November until February, where students get to rest, work full time, or sometimes go home if they want to visit their home country for during that time. But most students, of course, maximize the opportunity and get more work experience since they can work full time. Accommodation, we have plenty of options. If they're coming with families, I normally recommend flatting. But if they're coming alone, homestay and student residential village, where only our students live there, would be recommended since they would have a sense of community. The student residential village would have about 3 to 5 bedroom options. Students have their own bedroom, 2 bathrooms, and then a shared kitchen and living room. And it's only a 7-minute walk away from the campus. They just get to cross Oakley Creek beside the waterfalls, and they are already on our campus. So the image is where Waterview Apartments is, and only students reside in that location. So very accessible, convenient, and students get to make a few friends while they are staying there as well, since they get to. It's mostly 3 to 5 bedroom options. And this is just a table on the summary of the updated post-study work visa. So just a refresher. Normally, for the new policy starting November, if you study non-degree, non-green list, and it's not an English program or foundations, and at least 24 weeks, you will get a 6 months of short-term graduate work visa. For level 7 to level 8, it normally matches the duration of the study. So you study for 1 year, you get post-study work visa for 1 year, and 2 years gets 2 years, 3 years gets 3 years. But from level 9, even if you study as short as 1 year or 30 weeks, you will get the maximum 3 years of post-study work visa. That's why we're really seeing a surge in enrollments for master's degrees. Cost of living, in terms for the visa, normally Immigration New Zealand will still look for 20,000 New Zealand dollars per year. But I do recommend student preparing budgeting a little bit extra. But the good thing is, they do have the 25 hours part-time work rights that really helps them cover the cost of living while they are living in Auckland. But on average, the latest data that was shared to us, students might spend around, on average, 25,000 New Zealand dollars a year while they're in Auckland. So it's not that bad and not that far compared to the estimated requirements that are for the visa fund requirements. Oh, UniTec is, by the way, Manaki scholarship. We are one of the 10 institutions in New Zealand prestigious scholarships that we have and so it covers the full tuition fee, living allowance, insurance, and even the return flight. But you may check if your country is eligible. If, as I recall, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Vietnam is eligible for this. So it's one of the few government scholarships eligible for only tennis in New Zealand, which is the 80s, UniTec, and SIT. And yeah, so holistically, we provide really good support to our applicants as well. Um, Aside from the Manaki scholars, even the students that come, we do have our international arrival up until they complete their studies. And even it comes to the career services, we have a team there that helps students with employment as well. So that's all I want to share for now. I hope it's not too much information. Feel free to ask me any question.
Okay. Um, Yeah, thank you so much. For sharing, thank you so much for sharing information about the UniTech. And I believe that after the webinar, our sub-agents will have more options when advising students on choosing Auckland as their study destination. So now for the Q&A session, I think I will read the questions out loud so that everyone can hear and get more information. Let me check. The first one is, hi Ray, do you accept students under 18 to study pathway programs? That's the first one.
Yes, at least 16 years old, we can accept.
Okay, so still accept student under 18.
Yes. So minimum age is 16.
Okay, minimum 16. Okay, got it.
Yes.
Thank you. So the next one, I have sent few students to UniTech, but seems that the processing time is not quick, quite long. So may I know the standard turnaround time to get offer letters?
And take a bit longer depending on the program that the student will be taking, especially if it's a pathway uh, offer, or if we're not yet processing applications for that intake. But right now, we are processing for 2027 intakes. And right now, it normally just takes 1 to 2 weeks for most programs, provided that all of the requirements is complete. Delays is normally when a few other requirements are missing, or if the program requires an interview or portfolio to be reviewed by the faculty. In those cases, it can take maybe at least 2 weeks or 3 weeks, since it also depends on the availability of the faculty. But most of our popular programs like IT, construction, and business, it's normally completed in less than 2 weeks. As long as we're already
Okay.
processing for the intake. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Thank you. So the next ones, let me check. There's PhD programs require students to have available supervisor, or UniTech will arrange supervisors for students after submitting applications?
We only have one doctoral degree available to international students, which is the Doctors of Computing. It's quite competitive. So we do help connect the students with the supervisors, but competitive entry requirements, since we only accept a few students internationally for the program.
Sorry, I can't hear clearly. So students, they are encouraged to find supervisor first, right?
Our team can help as long as they already have the research proposal as well.
Sorry, right? Can you hear me?
Yes. Did you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but I mean that the answer that you answered before that I couldn't hear clearly. So can you repeat again? Because I'm not sure that if they require to have
No
the
worries.
supervisor first or not. Because the voice, I don't know why it's broken. So yeah, so it's not very clearly.
Our team will help find the supervisor for them. They just need to make sure that they already have the research proposal as well.
Okay, got it. Yeah, so UniTech will find supervisors for them. However, students need to prepare
Yes,
proposal
but it's very
first.
competitive. Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah, okay, I got
Yes.
it. Thank you. So the next question is, can nursing program package with English program or pathway programs?
Yes, we have done a few students in the recent intakes with English program package with level 4 foundations, then Bachelor of Nursing. So they get a full 4-year visa for that. They will be eligible to apply
Okay.
for a pathway student visa.
Okay. So for students that they can't meet the English entry requirement, so they can study the pathway programs or English and pathway programs and then enter the Bachelor of Nursing programs. Is this correct?
Yes, normally the nursing is quite competitive. So what we do
Yeah.
is we prioritize students that will take the foundations level 4. And in case they don't meet the English requirement, they can
Okay.
also build the 3 programs with nursing.
Okay. Thank you. So the next question is, with the scholarship, is this automatic assessment?
Yes, for the study grants, it is automatic, but we are just finalizing the 2027 intake study grants and tuition fees. So for 2027, you might not see it yet, but it should be automatic once we finalize the fees and study grants that we will be issuing for 2027. 2026, we previously did it automatically. It's already noted in the offer. As long as the country is eligible for the study grant, it is already automatic. And it's included in the offer. Sorry, I think I
Yeah.
caught.
Okay. Yeah. Because when I check on the website, I see that student, if they want to be assessed for the scholarship, so they need to apply online and do the online statement, like upload the statement on the online platform. Tool.
That is
It's not
for the other
automatic.
scholarships. What I'm referring to is just the study grants. That the study grant is the automatic one. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I got it. Study grant. The next question is, if student apply first year of Bachelor of Business from AIS, can he transfer to UniTec for level 6?
We will have to assess the transcripts to evaluate if student will be eligible to transfer, or the student will be eligible for any cross credits. So one student has to offer to provide to the assessment of the advanced team.
Sorry, I can't hear clearly.
Sorry, Eddie.
I don't know why the internet is not very stable.
Cutting out. But when it comes to that
I think the internet from or is out already. The internet is not stable from the right side, so I think he will get back again. So sorry for that, and just wait for him a little bit. Thank you. So while waiting for him to get back, so if anyone to have any questions, so just leave in the Q&A box, and then he will get back and answer you directly. You okay now, right? I'm not
Can you hear
sure
me?
that because yes, I can hear you now, but I couldn't hear you before. So I'm not sure that if Miss Jung or Mr. Jung, uh, he or she can hear you clearly before, but I couldn't hear you before because the unstable internet. So Miss Jung or Mr. Jung, if you can hear us, so it's okay. So if you can't, so please let us know. So Mr. Ray will answer you again. So sorry for that. Yeah, I think uh yeah, he said that the connection is poor, so hard to hear, right? But thanks anyway. Yeah, thank you for your patience. I think I will collect his answer and will pass it to you later. But please text me on Zalo or WhatsApp, and then I will pass the answer to you later after this webinar. Yeah. So far, I think yeah, so far I think there's no question. So I think everything is clear. So we will wrap up the webinar now, and thank you, Mr. Ray, and all of our agents partners here for spending your time with us. So please keep in touch, and I hope to see you soon in our next webinar trainings. Thank you, and have a good day.